Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 134 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I'm filming this on Friday, November the 4th, 2022, and I'll be posting the video tomorrow on the 5th. I'm not going to be home most of the day on Saturday when I would normally film, so I thought I'd film a day early and just get the video posted tomorrow morning sometime. So, I've had a great week. The last month has been a lot of fun. I don't know how many of you watched some of the Vlogtober posts, but I had such a fun time doing those. And I actually, on the 1st of November, I felt like I was forgetting to do something most of the day because I had got so used to filming every day, and I actually missed doing it. And I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope those of you that tuned in to watch those enjoyed it as well. I didn't get quite as many things done as I was hoping to do and show you, but hey, that's life. And that's what Vlogtober was all about, is just showing you some little snippets of my life. Some of the days, just to show you just how boring my life is. It is what it is. So I'm sipping a cup of tea today. It is Bigelow's cinnamon, I think it's called cinnamon stick? Something like that. It's a black tea with a cinnamon flavor. And it's so nice. I love this tea. Not into the pumpkin spice stuff, but give me a cinnamon flavored tea. I like it. So this past week, I have worked on 2 projects. I worked on my Westknits MKAL for 2022. I'm so far behind. The last clue came out, I think 2 weeks ago now, or a week and a half ago. I'm still on clue number 2. I'll talk about that a bit more in a little bit. And I started a new project. I've been humming and hawing about that for a while, and I have no business to start on a new project, but what am I gonna do? So I'm back up to 3 works in progress right now, which is fine, although my Empress top I have not touched in several weeks now. I am going to have to rectify that soon and at least do a few more rows on it. Oh well. So my new work in progress is living in my fringe supply field bag. And if you watch some of the Vlogtober stuff towards the end, you'll know what I've started. Just getting everything sort of under control here. So I have a mess going on here for starters. I have cast on a pair of 2 at a time toe-up socks. And here they are. I am having a lot of fun with these. The yarn I bought was yarn that came from I bought at the Frederick Fiber Fest a few weeks back. And here's the yarn, or the company. Here is all of the yarn information. And it's called Tea Time Prep. And this is their Talbot fingering sock set. And this is, I think, a really neat idea for the type of socks I enjoy. There are 50 grams of the main color and 20 grams of a contrast color. So in this one, so there is a 20 gram skein of the contrast color and a 50 gram skein of the main color. And as far as I'm concerned, this is close enough to Christmassy for my liking. So these will become a pair of Christmas socks to go in my festive season Christmas box of socks. And I'm using a basic toe-up vanilla pattern from the 2 at a Time toe-up sock book. I'll put a link to the name of the book down below. I don't have it with me, it's over on the other side of the room. But the plan is, so it looks close enough to Christmassy for my taste, especially the main color. So the plan is, I did the toes in the contrast. I'm going to work my way up the foot. The pattern I'm using, or the style I'm using, will have a basic gusset and heel turn and heel flap. That style fits my foot the best. I'm going to do the heel turn and the heel flap in the contrast color. I only used, I think, 6 grams out of the 20 for the toes, so there's still lots left. And then once I've done the heel flap, or the heel turn and the heel flap in the contrast color, I'm going to continue up the leg with the main color until I'm pretty much out of the main color. And then I will do the cuff with whatever's left in the contrast color. So that way I'm hoping that I will use the vast majority of the two skeins. Both yarns from the sock set. And I prefer a shorter sock because I have fat legs, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, I prefer a shorter sock. I don't want one that goes midway up my calf, because it's not going to get there and it's just going to end up getting scrunched down my leg anyway. So I like a sock that only comes at most 4 or 5 inches up my leg. If it only goes up 2 or 3 inches, that's perfectly fine as well. It's going to fit nicely on my foot and my leg. So we shall see how much progress I get done on this in the next week. I do plan on taking it with me tomorrow. I will have time to, it's like a conference type thing I'm going to tomorrow, so I will have time here and there during the conference to do some knitting. There are a couple other ladies that I know will be there that also knit, so I know that it will be fine. I'll double check with the person who is leading each of the sessions I go to. I'll double check to make sure they're okay with me knitting while they're doing their presentations. But I do plan on getting more done on the foot, on the socks while I'm away. So I'm kind of hoping I'll get onto the heel part before I see you guys again next week, but we shall see. All depends on how much I get done tomorrow. I won't be able to knit while we're driving there and back because I'm doing the driving. There's myself and a couple other ladies are going together, and since I've been there a few times, I've been to this location a few times before. I just drove up there less than a month ago, so I know the way up there. I know how to get there. I say up there because it's north of where I live. So I'm doing the driving, so I won't be able to knit. So that's my new cast on. I'm loving it. I am perfectly happy to have a nice, mindless stockinette project to work on. It makes for nice little breaks when I have my other projects are a little bit more complicated. Not too complicated, but a little bit more complicated. So my second work in progress this week is my Westknits MKAL for 2022, the Twists and Turns shawl. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm way behind. I'm way behind. There's probably quite a few people already who are finished. I'm not sure because I'm not looking at any of the spoiler pictures if I can help it so far. And so far I've succeeded. I don't know what clue 3 or clue 4 look like yet. So crossing my fingers that the surprise doesn't get spoiled for me quite yet. We shall see. But right now I am still working on clue number 2. I'm almost done the third of 4 parts of clue number 2. I finished part 1, part 2 were done. I'm not sure if I had started clue 3 when I saw you last week. I can't remember how far along I was last week. But anyway, I almost finished the third part of clue number 2. I just have to finish, I'm about maybe halfway done the I-cord bind off portion of that clue. So I still have the last portion to do. Now that I have the hang of the third part, the fourth is just a mirror on the other side of the shawl. So the fourth part of the second clue should not take too long to finish, I hope. But I won't have a lot of time to work on it until Sunday. This afternoon, the hubby and I are going out, and then in the evening we are going out to a movie, and then Saturday I'm away the vast majority of the day, although I will have time to work on it in the evening. So likely I won't get much done on it until Sunday, unless I have a little bit of time later today, but I don't think I'm going to have a lot of spare time today to work on it. So it might take a little bit, but that's fine. So I'm going to show you what I have done on my shawl. Right, my sock yarn escaped. So I am going to show you my progress on the second clue on my Westknits MKAL. I'm using Holst Super Soft. The one I'm using for the third and fourth parts of the second clue is my contrast color, the second of the 3 colors. So this is Gray Flannel is the name of the color, and that's the one I'm working with right now, doing those 2 sections. So if you have not got this far on your shawl, which probably there's very few people that are farther behind than I am by this point, but I will continue for the time being to put up spoiler alerts. So if anyone is farther along or farther behind than I am and they don't want the parts of the second clue revealed to them, they can look away and not have the clue ruined for them. So I'll give you a quick countdown. So 3, 2, 1, look away. Alrighty, so here is where I am right now on the shawl. So the little stripy portion is one of the first 2 parts of clue 1 or clue 2, and then there's this fun cable section, and I'm showing you the back side of it. That was good. Oh dear. So the stripy portion is one of the portions of the first part of clue 2, and then there's this nice cable-y section, and it has it's bound off using an I-cord bind off. So I'm about halfway through doing the bind off on the first of the 2 cable sides. So this part was clue number 1. It's getting to a size and shape now where it's awkward to show. And then there is the stripy portion, the second stripy portion. So clue 1 is in the center, then clue 2 is built on the right and left side of clue 1. So I still have to pick up the stitches along this longer end. And so I'll pick up the stitches and then start doing the cable rows. So I think there's the pickup stitches and then the bind off is in row 34. So it's not an awful lot, but it's quite a few stitches from one end to the other. So, and then something happens over here later in clue 3 or 4, I don't know when, but the end of each stripy section is held on, I just have it on spare interchangeable needle cables. And the same with this side. There's this extra cable that's sitting on. So I do not know what happens next. I don't know what comes next on the shawl for clue 3. So if you've been looking away, it's safe to look back now. So I don't know what comes next, and I'll wait until I've finished the final part of clue number 2 before I print out the information for clue number 3. And then I'll get started on that and see how far I get. So hopefully when you see me next week, I better have clue 2 finished by then. Good grief. I should have clue 2 completed, and I have no idea what to expect with clue number 3, so I have no idea how time consuming it might be. So I'm hoping to have a fair bit of clue number 3 ready to show you next week. And I'm also hoping to have a good chunk of my my newest Christmas socks completed, so I can show you what they look like with more progress on them. And otherwise, that's about all that's new and different around here. I do need to get some work done on my Empress top. Is it Empress or Rachel? It's been that long, I don't even remember what she's called. I am planning later this month during the Thanksgiving break. We have a week off with no classes during Thanksgiving week. So the whole Monday to Friday, university is closed. So I typically do what I call whip it down week during my Thanksgiving break. And what I do is I spend each day during my break, I focus on one of my whips. So just for an example, on Monday, I will focus entirely on my Christmas socks. Tuesday, I'll focus entirely on my Twists and Turns shawl. Wednesday, I'll focus entirely on Rachel? Empress? Rachel? I think it might be Rachel. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'll spend, and then on the 4th day, I'll go back to the first whip. So that way I will spend a good chunk of time each and every day on all of my, well, I only have 3 whips. And by Thanksgiving break, it's still a few weeks away. I might have some of these done. Who knows? We'll see. Don't have high hopes that I'll have all of them finished before then. And I also have some crochet squares that need to be put together. So technically I have 5 whips, or 4 whips. But I will tell you more about my Whip It Down week later. And I do that vlog style. I will film an introductory video for that, separate from my regular weekly videos. And each day I will give you an update of what I'm planning on working on, and the next morning I will tell you how much I accomplished that day, the previous day. So I will be doing that again this year, although we are doing some traveling, so I might not have quite as much free time, but I will make the most of whatever free time I do have. So I won't have work obligations that week. So otherwise, this is another little bit shorter episode. I don't think there was anything else I was wanting to tell you about. I don't think so. So I shall let you go, and I will see you guys again in a week. Bye now.